welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT, and tonight we have the final round of the Pagnian Imports Formula 4 Trophy, and that sees us at Rudskogen Motorsenter to wrap up the 8-round series. We've got 10 minutes of practice coming up, 10 minutes of qualifying, a 40-minute race. Weather is generated and time of day is in the morning, and the car's being capped at 47% fuel. I mean, they need to take fuel on a couple of times to finish out the race. And then our drivers' championship standings after the 7th round. Coming into the final, we have Sam Catacasinos leading on 1,782 points, so having a solid lead over position 2's Mark Cochran. So a clean round tonight will definitely guarantee a complete series win for him. And then also following up in third is Mick Clifton, and there's heaps of opportunity for some movement to be able to finish up the series in a great position tonight. Our results from last week for round 7 were at Road Atlanta short, and it was a clean sweep from the round for Sam Catacasinos, taking that pole position, going on to take the win, and also secured the fastest lap bonus points. I'll jump over and check out the track. So we are in Norway for Rudskogen Motorsenter. There are 14 turns around the 3.15 kilometer track. It is a fantastic, fast and technical track, and a lot of fun to be able to throw these cars around here at Rudskogen. We'll jump trackside now and see how our drivers are faring in the practice session so far. Eyes on Mick Clifton. Just up ahead is Michael Stumbles. As you join us for the stream, if you're new to the channel, it'd be great if you hit that follow button. We are incredibly close to our 360 follower milestone. It'd be fantastic if we can see ourselves reach that next goal by the end of this series. There's Ricky Bunt that was just coming through. We're seeing some very nice lap times already. Seeing some 28s. We've got 16 drivers registered at the moment. Track's long enough that there's not going to be too much issue with traffic and trying to get a tidy lap in. Just a little bit of strategy going out on track should be able to allow them a nice clean lap. However, this track is pretty strict for those track limits, and then you will be getting some slowdown requests. Take a look at those when we get a chance to jump on board for a lap around. Rushworth just comes through fastest time in the session at 27.793. Sitting in the slipstream to wrap that up behind Russell Gander. Series champion Sam currently in the car ready to go out on track. And essentially could just park the car up tonight and the championship would be in the bag. Gander parked up in the pits at the moment as well. For a P2 finish in the series. Our shot at a steal of the series in the final round. It would need to be a clean sweep and then potential penalty situation for Catacazinos. So, pressure for Cochrane to try and be able to take the series win. And also pretty good just to stay clean, not push overly hard and secure that P2 finish in the series. He's got Mick Clifton not too far behind in those standings as well. That's practice session now complete. Move over into the 10 minutes of qualifying. Final qualifying for the series. It's been a fantastic previous 7 rounds. I've seen some fantastic racing. Usually up for some incidents. Once you start seeing around between 15 and 20 cars out on track with the open wheels, easily to get tangled. It's been a very low incident series. No need for safety car. There's a big slide on those cold tyres for Cochrane. Douglas Gowns. Dylan DeBono. Fair bit of traffic snaking there. It's going to be similar pace. It's going to be good for these further back cars. Enjoy a nice tow. Pretty sure we're close to a rinsing a lap here, so we're going to jump on the gyro. Board with Sam Tucker. Come down into turn 1. Tight little chicane into a fast right-hander. Some varying lines there with the keep tight, but actually drift out and then have a later turn in. Both can actually do quite well and open up some passing opportunities. And a very fast right-hander, watching that understeer. That's where we saw Cochrane go for the same slide. It was a little bit earlier. I think he'd actually clipped the turning curb. Looked like Hardwick going for the slide. Watching not to cut too much curb there and the following corner. Try and wander out wide, ready for a nice late turn in. And get onto that power nice and early. Down into sharper corner, down the first gear to get the car turned through. Car will spool up a little bit once you start powering out of the corner, just because of that crest. Big cut here, you can get a fantastic line just watching that grass. One of my favourite corners there, just letting that car slide around to the left. Turn 14. Would be a valid lap for Sam Tucker. pole driver is Dylan DeBono. .5 is the pole time. But the Casino's in for 27 as well, a few tenths off the pace of DeBono. So Tucker's just brought the car back in as well after commencing that next lap. May have been an incident. Not a whole lot of difference between the gap for Stumbles and Catacasinos at this point. For an 8.20 to an 8.56. Gowan sneaks into position 2. Not for long though. Big movement around. Catacasinos takes pole at 27.3. Catacasinos be a shoe-in for another clean sweep. He's had a few in the series. Sure. Shanahan ended up there. He's lost the nose cone though. Did just set a lap in though. So he might have just been a bit of fun with the car after wrapping up a hot lap. His time around was a 27.657 for Shanahan. They've got position 4. Track temperature is impeccably low, 19 degrees. We're seeing ambient temperatures only 17. There is southeast winds of 11 kilometers at this point. Humidity is starting to go up. Pagnian in the pits, as is Gander. Those cars has gone for a slide. Drivers getting a time on the board, set for Sam Tucker. So we've got about 5 seconds separating 15 drivers with the time. It's going to be pretty tight for 15 cars. With a gap like that, I'm sure Tucker, once he gets in a timed lap, will be within around the probably P6, P7 mark, I would assume. Bono's just been bumped down. Gowns comes in at P3. Two minutes to go for qualifying. Only 1 or 2 laps left to try and secure those extra championship points. It's like an outlap for Fillingham. Told to the inside, letting that traffic through. That was Cochrane that went past, yes it is. So Try and stay close. You should be able to get a nice little slipstream advantage out of Cochrane. Bit of more movement towards the top end with only 40 seconds left. He's now brought in Rushworth. Qualifies into position 2. Stumbles, improving times as well. He's been bumped down and then moved back up. And DeBono's just moved up a spot again as well. So Gowans has been bumped down to P5. Oh, they nearly came together. I think there may have been a touch there. So that's a bit of invalidated lap. With only 6 seconds on the clock. The qualifying done for. It's not going to be enough time to finish up laps here. I don't think they're going to get a full lap in around here. The longer tracks doesn't give that whole lot of time to get a full extra lap in. Series leader still holds with a 1:27.327. Thanks, Malza, for the follow. Hey, Sammy, thanks for jumping on the stream, joining the chat. Yes, he's done a fantastic time. I'm sure if we'll be pleased with that. Over and take a look at the qualifying results as they are finishing up with the track in these last moments. We'll have a look at these results now. Qualifying for round 8, the final round, Sandcutter Casinos take pole position. He did improve his time on that last lap at 1:26.854, being the only driver to get into that bracket. So well done to Sam. Oh, just a late move at Mick Clifton's last lap, just sneaks into P2, bumping Rushworth down. And then we'll look at the rest of the grid after Mick Clifton. Then in P2 is Andrew Rushworth, Dylan DeBono, Michael Stumbles, Douglas Gowans, Mark Cochrane, Matthew Shanahan, Ricky Bunt, John Fillingham, Russell Gander, Sam Tucker, Cameron Hardwick, David Simmons, Stephanie Piccoli. Then over in position 16 is car number 17, which is Philip Buckland. So that is a qualifying set to go into the last race of the series. Sammy, tell him that you taught him everything he knows. Yeah, we'll have to. And then we did just get that wrapped up. It's just move the drivers over to grid up now. Nice. Swap of all the cars. Track temperature marginally going up to 20 degrees. Ambient's only increased by 1. Burn up some fuel at the grid. And 40 seconds. Already up waiting on 4 drivers. Grid the car. finish the grid. Let's see more cars here. If we focus over here on Mick there, all the drivers are ready. Light's about to go green for last time. The Pagnian Imports Formula 4 trophy. It's going to be a scramble here to try and find position for turn 1. They're not far from. Pagnian gets away to a very nice start. Fair bit of scrambling going on to try and find some track. They managed to get through turn 2, alright. Looked like there was a car understeering. There has been a bit of contact towards the back end. It's like a toe for Tucker. The other cars seem to be alright. Clifton's just gone off. Going on position 3. Taylor Gowns as well, but he's got Rushworth closing in pretty quick. Through to Hardwick. Hardwick again have a big opportunity to really close in here. It's going to be a phenomenal amount of slipstream if they hold on to this gap. Burno goes for inside the move. Casino's already flying up front. 2-second lead. We're only on lap 2. Stumbles is able to hold on to the tail. Casino's good portion of the start last week. Pretty hard to try and close it in now. Don't have any advantage to try and gain a little bit of extra speed out of the car. Casino is now pushing the gap out to 2.5 seconds. Goes for another pass. It's another car, same spot. Oh, I think that's Hardwick. This has gone for a slide. Oh, no, that was Mick Clifton. Managed to weave through. Quick reactions were going on there for Clifton. Between Hardwick and Gander. A little bit of oversteer for fun. It's going to have Rushworth pestering those mirrors now. Well clear here. This one's going to still have advantage. Turn 1. He's not giving up either. lost ground, and it definitely paid off. In on his favourite corner, but he's actually lost a couple of spots. Fillingham and Shanahan climb through, and DeBono gets broad but saves the car. So seeing Simmons going to have to come in and utilise the fast repair. It's a quick 7.2 second stop. After towing. Back out on track into P16. Casino's already on approach. So lap traffic. Already managed to get around Tucker, but it is quite a lengthy tow at Rudskogen. Especially to be towing in the first sector. Looks like Simmons up ahead, so on approach to P15. Stumble's going to be feeling a bit of pressure here shortly. Hound's flying in very quick. His previous lap, 2 temps quicker than Stumbles. Looks like he's carrying that same momentum over the course of lap 5. Managed to be able to increase a gap over Rushford now. Just going to trip up Simmons moving aside the little traffic through. I think that was Simmons. Testing traffic through. No sign of slowing down for Gata Casinos. It's been absolutely dominant in the race, formerly for the 1600. Spectacular drive all series. Stumbles been able to hold off Gowans, starting to put a gap on. The previous lap 5, Gowans was 3 temps quicker. So he was on a huge pace, chasing down Stumbles. In that tow now. Blunt's going to have to start watching the mirrors again. And the two are starting to pull away from Cochrane in P6. The two here are fairly evenly paced. So actually just towing along with each other really benefit both drivers. Put a little bit of a gap to the cars behind. and start to really focus on the two cars up ahead. Start battling here, especially this early on. They're going to lose that gap. But it's going to be looking pretty hard for a podium finish. He's narrowly missed out a few times in the series. Great if we can see him grab one for the last round. Again, Pesta stumbles. Suspension nice and planted. Nice and fast corner. Drop back there from Devono. That is washing off black flag slow down. Yeah, he's dropped pace a little. He's trying to shave it off. If that is the case, it's pretty horrendous. Trying to shave those ones off here. Only got to just drop the smallest bit of tyre over some of the corners. You're going to have to be dropping off a fair bit of time. Lucky for Cochrane at this point. How fast Devono is moving up. Starbles drops down to P3. Gowan's got him. That's the executed through turns 1 and 2. Coming to the pits. 61-second stop for Buckland. It's likely a stop and hold. He came in a little too hot into the pits. Looks like a mistake for Bun. It's dropped down to P8. And Gowans as well, perhaps a little bit of a spin and it's caused some cars to go off. Stumbles, moves back to P2. Rushworth moves up to P3. Catacasinos. Absolute flyer, pushing out 6 seconds on the race. Not even near the halfway point yet. There's still another 5 laps or so. This car is gliding around. Still keeping that similar gap. Maybe a good opportunity for a little bit of teamwork here. Sure, they're currently focused on trying to work together here. Try and move the team up some spots. Still working on closing that gap to Cochrane. Looks like we're seeing some first pit stops coming in now. Hardwick in the pits. Gander's been in and pit. Tuck having to have the early tow. Still going to have to use 2 stops for fuel to get the car back for him. Tow was way too early. DeBono's closed right on Cochrane now. Tight line held from DeBono. This is where he's round up most of the cars he's got past. Holds inside line for that fast corner. DeBono moves up to P4. Car, Spicoli. Traffic trying to wait for. It's back out on track. Look at it, starting to move now. Needing to move back through the field again. But choosing to pit. But Casinos also comes in. Cochrane stays out. Fillingham and Shanahan stays. Shanahan's starting to drop back a bit as well. Rushworth, DeBono, Stumbles all in the pit. Here around 18 seconds for the stop. Casino's 19.7 in the box. Stumbles 19 flat. Rushworth 19.8. DeBono's right on his tail. 19.1 stop for DeBono. Considering he's only just gotten around P4. Rushworth was in P3 before the stop. Some movement made. Closing to the tail of Rushworth for DeBono in the pit stop. Wrapping up the position. His favourite spot again. 8-second gap between Casinos and Stumbles after their first stops. Cochrane must have peeled off into the pits. Shanahan moves into the lead. be pretty tight for fuel here to be reaching exactly the halfway point in the race. Pull this off and don't lose too much time. He's got 23 seconds to go to Casinos. This is having to drop a fair bit of speed off here. There's going to have to be some pretty heavy conserving, I think. Still got another whole sector to go. Coasting in second gear. So he gets it home here. This could actually utilise a one-stopper, but at what cost of time? That is super close. Even going to get it to the box. May cost him there. If he can wave that full second stop off, it's going to make a fair bit of position movement. Looks like he's not with the box. He hasn't quite stopped yet. Seen the timer yet. Did not make it. It's getting no timing on the standings board there. He didn't make it. He had the tow. He must have been very close. Didn't pay off. We're reaching the pit window in this next lap. We see some early stops. Opting for the early stop. Seeing a few little gaps forming of a few seconds. The pit's having shuffled things up a bit. Some weight back in the cars. Gander's just going for a slip. Save the car. Timing for the Bono, saying he's been stationary for 154 seconds so far. Let's see what he's doing. Perhaps it wasn't an early stop. Had to tend to something. Just park the car up. captains starting to close together. Car, Simmons, Sam Tucker. Repairs or not, the cars seem to be okay visually. Yeah, a bit of a wobble in the steering there for Tucker. Super close, I think. Gowns did just get a pass over Cochrane. Loses the tail. Cochrane resumes back in P4. Rushworth cruising on up ahead in P3. Just got under a second to the cars behind. Leader still pushing out this lead. It's 11 seconds on the gap to P2. Here we go, Gowans making a move down pit straight. Cochrane's not going to let him have it easy, but he makes the pass. They can be able to chain this momentum here and have a shot at Rushworth. Still holding on here. Closing for a little shot to having a crack at Rushworth's P3. Having a nice run here. Power through. Similar position to be able to have a shot at getting the pass on Cochrane through turn 1. Will he be close enough to have a move on Rushworth? Enough now. Rushworth backs off and lets him through. A little loose in the rear. He lost the spot and gave it back to Cochrane last time at that exact location. He managed to hold it. He's already put some gap. Rushworth runs wide. Cochrane's going to get to the inside. P4. Rushworth falling to P5. Try if I can hear some conserving going on. race leader and series leader. Being pushed out to 14 seconds. Currently on lap 21. Zamkata Casino's having led for 18 laps. Only a change in race lead when he went into the pits. Shanahan took over that for a couple of laps. So we witnessed an unfortunate attempt of a good conserve. Firing to toe. It's only a little bit away from the box. Still parked up. So he wasn't coming in for that early stop. He's had to tend to something. Cars is sitting idling in the pits. So he's not actually exited the car, just parked it up. Stumbles looking in a very comfy spot for P2. Nearly pushed out to a 10-second gap to P3. There's also lap traffic in between. With only 8 minutes left on the clock. Just taking it nice and steady and not pushing too hard at this point. Definitely a nice and spot on the podium for P2. Downs fighting hard to clamber back up towards the front end. Drop down to around P8. Setting himself in bun. Drop right back. Do have second pit stops to go. It's going to be a quick little splash in the last few laps. Rushworth really dropping back at the moment. He's dropped back pace a bit. He's going to have a shot at a conserve and miss this second stop. Be an interesting to have a go with. Didn't pay well for Shanahan. Drop from Rushworth at the moment. Previous lap at 29.948. He's actually blinking a bit at the moment. He really is fuel conserving here. He's been doing it for a couple of laps. An eye on, see if this pays off. He started well early. If that's the case, he's got a while until he would actually have to come for fuel. It's going to be a big gamble. Could potentially land himself for a podium finish. Slip for Gowans. Out of turn 2. Rushworth still doing that big save. Coming after turn 2, going down the big fast corner. She's using that hill to roll the car through. Casino's coming in for that splash of fuel now. Only 4 minutes on the clock. Stumbles following suit. Gowns come in now. We hold off for another lap. No, in he goes. Cochrane chooses to stay out. Rushworth's fuel conserving game. How much more does he need to conserve, or has he got enough fuel to last out now? Casino's only just getting out of pit exit. Rushworth moves up into P3. He's got nearly 4 seconds over Fillingham in P4. Cochrane in the lead. I think there's been significant fuel saving here from Cochrane. We've seen from Rushworth, so he's going to have to come in. Still saving fuel where he can. These are some big efforts to save that fuel and avoid this last stop. And at this rate, if it pays off, it's going to be a P2. Just makes quick work around Gowns. I'm not sure if there was an off track. And a real quick splash, only 8 seconds in the box. Oh, he's got damage. He's damaged that front right. Tyre's gone. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Some critical damage like that this far out. Especially if only just having gotten that pit stop done. Minor incident. And getting that fast repair done and dusted while coming in for that second force stop would have been much better timed. Fortunate for Gowns. Cochrane still in the lead. Minute to go. Doesn't bring the car in. So this is white flag. Cochrane has the lead. Hasn't come in for the second stop. He hasn't dropped as much pace back as what Rushworth has done. Oh no. A little bit too focused on clutching, I think, through the corners. May have unbalanced the car. He's not going to probably be able to fight too hard here. Casinos has no clue. Didn't pay off for Rushworth having to pit. Will it pay for Cochrane? The clock is wound down. Checkered flag will come out. Oh, touch between the two. Cochrane really can't afford any fighting here with an essentially empty car. Not a whole lot of fuel left in the tank. So Casino's not wanting to afford to get in a bingle at all. Sure results in a potential penalty situation. This checkered flag out for Cochrane. Takes the win, only managing to do it with one fuel stop. Congratulations, Mark. What a play with strategy. So that's 3 attempts at fuel saving we've seen, and 1 significantly paid off. Well done to Mark Cochrane. Sam Casinos on the podium in P2. He's been out there, caused a fair bit of trouble. That will be the series win as well. So well done to Sam. And then in P3, Michael stumbles. Fillingham crosses P4. And Clifton to come home in P5. Behind P6. Rushworth falling to P7, having to get fuel on that final lap. So we can get very close. Looks like Gowns and Rushworth. So both racing. It's a fair gap. Gets the car home. It's still parked up. A few drivers bring that in now. So we'll take a look at those results. What a fantastic race for us to witness for the final round. Bring up. There we have 27 laps witnessed at Rudskogen Motorsenter for the final round of the Pagnian Imports Formula Ford Trophy. Mark Cochrane having gained 6 positions in the end from qualifying with that great one-stopper strategy to go on and take the win in the final race. So well done to Mark. And also on the podium in P2 is Sam Casinos, and P3 is Michael Stumbles. Then the rest of the standings is then John Fillingham, Mick Clifton, Ricky Bunt, Russell Gander, Douglas Gowns, Andrew Rushworth, Matthew Shanahan, Cameron Hardwick, Stephanie Piccoli, David Simmons, Philip Buckland, Dylan DeBono. And then we've got Sam Tucker, and then it looks like we had a driver join late in the session, so they didn't actually get the join. We get that extra number when we see no name and the 0. Let's see if our driver's coming across for a chat with us. We got Mark and Michael here, so we'll bring them in. And congratulations on the win, Mark.
Hey, thank you very much.
That was quite the gamble, and it got a little bit sketchy on that last lap too.
Yeah, no, I was saving fuel that whole time, and then I made that silly mistake in the first corner. The car was really light, and I saw Sam come up behind me. I'm like, oh, it's all or nothing here. I have to do something. But yeah, it was a good strategic race.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a few people actually trying to manage the one stopper, and then even a tow was Shanahan ended up towing just about a box away because he didn't make it to the pit. So
yeah, there's plenty of opportunities on this track to just lift and coast, especially down the hill. And after the second lap, I realised there were lots of opportunities on the main straight, going down that hill, going down the hill at the back section, and then before the third last corner, you could just coast around those corners and save some fuel. So I was saving 0.1 a lap, and yeah, got me the victory.
That's a good save, yeah. Big gain, moved up 6 spots from qualifying, so well done.
Yeah, thank you.
And congratulations, Michael too. Let's move Sam in. He's just in the waiting room.
Yeah, thanks.
He's had a pretty good run. He was up there in P2 with a nice gap between you and Sam, and then also with the moving around in P3. So it must have been a nice cozy cruise for a while.
It was a bit lonely for a lot of that race. But I thought that I had second in the bag, so I was happy just keeping it safe And yeah, what a shock to find across the line at third. I was like, what happened there?
Yeah, just waiting for that other car to come in and grab fuel.
Yeah, so Mark, good strategy, man. Really got me.
Yeah, thank you.
And congratulations, Sam.
Yes,
It's a
I
little
got
bit of
second.
strategy got the win from you. That you're up leading for pretty much the entirety of the race.
Strategy was good, but I think I was trying to pass him, and at the bottom of the hill, he ran it a bit wide and pushed my car's nose up to the left a bit, and I lost the momentum. My wheel touched, my tire touched his tire, and yeah, I couldn't. That was my last shot.
Yeah.
I knew coming out of the last corner, yeah, once you're behind, it's just not enough straight to get over the finish line with a chance.
No.
But I was trying. I'm like, what's he doing? Oh, he's been fuel saving. And then I thought he gave me a gift that last lap, turn one, when he spun wide. And I'm like, oh, this is my shot. Didn't quite get it. I was so excited. My own wheel spun up. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but it
But
looks like that'd still be the series win anyway. So
smart challenge. I like what you did there. I was surprised it was only 3 litres top up, to be honest. I didn't realise how much little fuel there was going to be for the last stint. It's usually
yeah, you only had
4 laps,
just
5
under
laps.
4 seconds for a splash. So very quick stop in that last one.
Yeah, so that surprised me. But yeah, I was happy to keep the car clean. I had 0 incidents all race, except for the last lap. So I'm pretty proud of that.
It's a pretty good run for all those
Trying to keep a
laps
clean
up in the
car
front. Yeah.
and a clean race is one of the objectives for me. No matter where I go or what I do, you know, trying to be clean is good. So, well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Mark.
guys. That was a solid
Top job
drive
on
and
on
quite
the
a
track there.
quite a shock towards the end. I didn't think you were conserving that much. I noticed a couple others that were trying pretty hard to try and conserve a fair bit. It looked like you were probably going to go for a quick splash in the last couple of laps, but when the white flag was out and you had gone past that pit entrance, like it's all or nothing now.
It's all or nothing. And as I crossed that line, it just coughed. And I could see Sam getting closer. And I'm like, oh, just foot down, foot down, foot down. And
Yeah, I was wondering if he was
Yeah.
going to get you just before the finish line, if it just spluttered out just beforehand. It looked like it was going to be pretty close.
yes, very close.
Yeah, full fuel. The finish line, I should say, is not far now, or something like that. Not in these cars anyway. You have to really pick up speed before you start getting a draft. So, yeah, well done. Like, bet me on straps. Nicely done.
Nicely done
Yeah.
there. Impressive strategy. Paid off for a nice win in the end. And then
That was a very good race.
there wasn't too much of the traffic that was slowing up either for a lot of you, so you were able to just keep that same pace, just sort of rolling through and tuck in.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't come
So
across
something at the
too many
start.
cars.
Sorry, say that again.
I said I didn't come across too many cars. Yeah, it wasn't. I was waiting for sort of large groups of people to make a pit to get away from it all. I never had to do it, so I just kept running out my laps until I had nothing left.
Mm.
Yeah, managed to get through nicely. And then you even, with Michael, you gained 2 spots from qualifying in the end. So there's a fair bit of movement for you from qualifying as well.
Yeah, so
Grid just kept
I
moving
started in
those last
5th.
few laps.
Yeah, I started in 5th, but I was in 2nd by like T3 or T4 because there was a bit of an incident right at the beginning, which I fortunately missed. And yeah, got straight behind Sam, but it wasn't as close as last week. He already had a big enough jump on me. I couldn't draft, so that was it. Settled in.
Yeah, thought you may have just been within range to be able to start getting that toe and close in, but Sam just started plowing ahead. I think it was nearly 3 seconds by the first couple of laps.
Yeah, it was already over a couple of seconds by the time I got through the incident because being from P5 to P1, I just had too much of a gap to start with.
Like turn one incidents always help me.
Yeah, yeah. If you're on pole, it's good.
If you're on pole and something's happening at like turn one and it's not you, that's always helpful to help get rid of the draft.
Yep.
Or the ability for someone to get the draft and stay with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So last week you did that. You had a really good start and you stayed with me for a very long time.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Yep, congrats guys, it was a lot of fun watching us throw the cars around out there. Is it fatiguing in the end after the 40 minutes?
It was for
No,
me.
it wasn't too bad.
Not
It
as
was
bad
for
as
me.
Road Atlanta?
No, Road Atlanta's not so bad. This one here, because of the undulation and the constant, I don't know, the constant use of arms and legs with the types of corners that you have.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy braking for sure.
Real brake. Like, oval racing is the best. It's just arms. You don't have to lift your knees to press the brake or anything like that. But around here, this track, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do an enduro on this.
Yeah, it'd be well tiring, I think.
Yeah, it's a very technical track, and my left foot is very tired from all the very heavy braking coming down hills and having to bring it down quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely would be.
Turn one as well. It's such a turn 1 and 2, the complex. It's so rewarding when you can nail it and not get a 1.5 second.
Yeah, the slowdowns around here are quite hefty.
Rudskogen is the worst track for off-track penalties and time penalties because it's not like other tracks where iRacing resets itself and says, I have no clue what final loss to me, so there's a huge loss for you on lap 1. Lap 2, 3, 4 and onwards, we get better stats, and so we don't give you as much of a time cut penalty. But this track, even after 30 minutes, you do the same error, 1.5 seconds or something to try and wash off. It's bad.
You make that mistake and you can lose several positions pretty quick just trying to wash that off.
Exactly right. You don't want to get there's a rule, I think, with this league. Like I think it's with league. If you have time to cut, don't stay on the racing line if someone's behind you. Or maybe that's another league. I don't know. Can't
you
remember which one.
Don't want to be blocking anyone.
No blocking while washing off the time. But yeah, not for me. A very clean race. Trying to keep those lines. It's that first downhill turn. I guess it's 3 or 4. I don't know if they consider that little tinker turn. But say turn 3, where you get to the bottom of the hill, then you go up and right. That one there, that's the most trickiest part of the track for me. Trying to get the car balanced. And no sudden movements, please. Because that rear end will just spin itself out on you.
Yeah, especially that fast right-hander. You don't get that rear settled before the turn in and around you go. Thank goodness for all that run off to the left of the track. There's a fair few cars going for some slides there, some impressive saves. Yeah, it catches everyone out, that one.
Pretty good. I very much enjoyed the season, and I'm glad that Doug Downs, my fellow teammate, informed me of it. It was great to see that there's a series on a Monday night with a car that I enjoyed, and I had a lot of fun. So thanks for hosting this and putting it together and conducting it the way you did.
No problem. Looked like you had a lot of fun out there. Car was
balanced and
balanced
behaving,
the whole series.
and I liked it. Yeah, it was nice. It's actually felt good, to be able to accomplish something like this. It's not very often I do it, so when it comes along, I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. And then we throw that slower pace and stability out the window for next series and grab the supercars.
That's
Horrible.
going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, big change in car handling, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully, you have as much luck in the V8s as you do the Formula Ford.
It'll be my last win for a long time.
Have to wait till the next series, eh?
Not a favour on yours, supercars. You did say supercars, didn't you?
Yes, supercars.
Yeah, but, they're not a favourite of mine. I don't know how to make them go fast. It'll be a challenge for me.
Yep, it is for a lot. Should be some good battles to see though. If all the drivers that we see turn up in those and manage to be able to master those machines.
I remember when I first started iRacing, it was all oval at the start because you could go further with less money on the oval side. But then finally I bit the bullet and got onto the roadside and tried the V8s. And I was hopeless at it, and then someone said, "Oh, why don't you try and go to the Dev Series with RSR?" So I did, and that was really good. I really got to learn more about the car because there was so many others that were just faster than me, and I was trying to follow them and learn their lines and pick their brains. In the end, they all left the series and went on to do things, and I kept staying there for a season or two longer, just trying to get better at it.
Hopefully some of those pay off for you in a couple of weeks. So it'll be at Sebring to start it off, so it'll be a good track for it.
Sebring. What a car track combo.
Yeah, it'll be a nice mix.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah, well, congrats once again, guys. Solid drive and solid series. So that should be P1, so a series win for you, Sam, and then P2 for you, Mark. So a good finish in the series.
Great.
Congratulations, guys.
Well done, guys.
All the best
Thank
in the
you.
next. There we have our podium finishes with Mark Cochran taking out the win in the final round. After that phenomenal fuel save, only requiring the one stop, and then to cut through and take the race win. And then Sam Catacazino's our series winner, finishing the final race in P2, but goes on to take the series win. So big congratulations to Sam Catacazino's. And then also our podium finisher in the final race is in P3, Michael Stumbles. So well done to all drivers on a fantastic series and putting on a great show for us all to witness. And then we'll be back again in a couple of weeks. So we're having a 1 week break as the season for iRacing for season 1 wraps up. And then we will be following the exact same official series for the V8 supercars. So it's a 10 round series, and then the graphic there is a bit of a change. So iRacing has actually swapped over Barber Motorsports Park for the final round over to the brand new track coming aboard, which is Algarve. So it's going to be a great one to finish up on. But round 1 will be Sebring International Raceway. And then that will be starting on the 18th of March, the same time as usual, 7:35 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be going live with the start of that. That's one not to miss. The V8's always an exciting series to witness. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and then hope to see you trackside at round 1 of the Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship. Bye.